Alright, so this is going to be our simple to-do list project. We are going to code it. I'm going to show you how. Okay. The code will be available on GitHub. It's also a live site also, which I can show you. Let's see. Alright. So that's the temperature one. Oh, I still never saved what you call it. Alright. Lovely. Okay, as you can see right here, this is a live actual site right now. This is what we will be making. Okay, you can add a to-do. And whatnot. Now, if you want to mark it done, you can click on it. It will cross it off. Now, if you use the scroll wheel, it will turn it back to green, marking it uncompleted again. Crossed off and grayed out is completed. And if you want to delete it, you can double click it and it will delete it. Basically, this project is just for structure and practice. Okay, there is no persistent storage on this project, but we will be working on another project that does have persistent storage and whatnot. It's a nice beginner project. So let's get coding. Alright, so we're gonna start with our header tag. I'm using VS Code. I'll be taking live server up in a minute. Our file structure is basic. Okay, I will be fixing this. This is just a test mode that I use to record projects, so that's why it's like that. And that's why it also says test. Okay, and new file. I'm gonna delete that. Get it out of there for now. I'll also put a new folder for CSS. Won't be getting too much into CSS, but it will be needed. Alright, so now I got that fixed. My file structure's a little better here. Now we can start with our HTML. Okay, it's a hypertext markup language. And then the first thing we start with is our header tag, which will be the name of our project, and we'll be activating live server. Alright, let's get live server up over here. There we go, it's live server. Mark this out, and as you can see, our header is already up here, so let's get coding. So we're gonna start with a div. I like to do it here and there. I'm gonna do an input tag, and that'll be an ID of task input. Okay, and then we'll do our placeholder for our import tag, and that will be new to do / nope, and that'll be that for that tag. button, of course, to activate it. And we're going to use a method called onClick to activate a function in JavaScript. And the function that we'll be activating will be add task. And we're going to finish our button tag here, and that'll be add for our label, and then we're going to close our button. Alright, and then we're also going to need a spot to take in the information after we process the information of the new to-do. So we will use an unordered list, which will be a UL element. Okay, and the only thing we need to do for that one is assign an ID so we can target. And that one will be a task list. And then this will be our container, so we'll be putting that as a to-do list. And I mark my container so I know, so I put const at the end of it. So that's one thing we have here, which is this we just added. It'll start looking better as we go. And we're not going to do instructions like you see at the bottom of the project. We're just going to stick to the basics. You can always copy the instructions and then notice at the bottom afterwards, okay? So we're going to have a script tag here, and our source will be script.js, which we'll have to change that since we added the JS folder. So we're going to do a js-script.js, and also we'll have to change the CSS file. And we're gonna go CSS, which is the file folder, and then we're gonna do index CSS, which is the file itself. Okay. So now what we're going to do here, we're gonna move on to JavaScript. Alright, so we're gonna move to our script.js file now. We're gonna start doing some JavaScript here. Now what we're going to be doing is we're going to be adding our function to handle the add task. Okay. Now this is just my label. And this will be my add to do function. Okay, so what we're going to do is use a basic function. And we're going to make it an add task function, because that's what we're calling from our button. And we got our parentheses. So now we're gonna get some elements by ID. Elements, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna get our import. So we're gonna use let. And that's going to be input equals document, and we'll be getting it by ID. Get element by ID. Parentheses, our tags, and we are targeting task input. So that's one that we have, and we're gonna need to get our li element, which is our list item. So we're going to do another let, and this one will be an li element equals document dot get element by ID again. And this one will be li, because that's what we're targeting. so now we're gonna set our value. Value of to do, and we're gonna do li dot text content, and that will be equal to input dot value. That's just gonna be value. Alright, so next we're going to work on our completed actions. So we'll label that mock to do as completed on click. And what we're gonna do there is an li dot on click. So basically we're doing an on click function in JavaScript instead of HTML. Okay, and that's going to equal a function and we'll just basically be putting our style in now. I'm going to style our mocked complete to do. Okay, so we're going to take the li element and we're going to do dot style to access the style, and then we're going to do text decoration, text deco. Okay, and then we'll equal it. And we'll put a line through. And then the next one's going to be an li dot style. And that will be the color. So we can change the color when it's completed. So it's basically happening with this function when we click on to do. Okay, it will put the line through the to do. Okay. That function isn't complete yet, obviously. So it'll check it'll gray it out and put the line through it, so it's completed. The to do is completed, and we're going to do the unmocked. Okay, so we'll do unmock completed to do. And that'll be on the wheel scroll. Okay, so we're gonna do li again because that's what we're accessing each time, and it'll be a on wheel. It should be lowercase. Sorry. It'll be a on wheel equals function like the last time. Okay, and we're gonna use our style elements just like we did above. The only difference is we want it to go back to how it was before we mocked it complete, so we're gonna have to reverse it basically, and that's gonna be a li dot style, and that'll be a text decoration of none, and then it'll also be the color, which will be li dot style dot color, and that will equal black. Nope, not black. Almost got me there. That'll be a RGB 77 dash 151 dash 3. Okay, so that's that. Oh, got the parentheses. Alright, so that would be our last one. And then we're going to need our closing bracket, of course. Alright, so now we're going to work on the one to remove. Remove to do. And that'll be on a double click. Okay, so we'll be using the li.on double click function. Oh, it'll equal a function. We'll be running that way. And we'll be using li.remove in that function to remove the list element. Okay, and that's going to be all for manipulating it. And then what we're going to do is we're going to append a new to do to the list using DOM manipulation, and that would be dot append child, and then we're going to do a document dot get element ID, and it'll be attached list as you see above, and it'll be dot append child on our list element. Okay, and then to clear our input field after adding to do, we will put our input dot value and we'll put it to an empty string. So every time we add a to do, it will empty the input. Okay, which I'll show you. Okay, I will save that, and that'll be our main function. Let's see what we got going on here. Wrong value. I don't know why it did that again. Value only. There we go. That's the problem. Oh, wait, what? Text.com. That's still no. Why would that be no? Oh, shit. Oh, what the fuck just happened? I'm having a little screen difficulties here. Sorry. Alright. See what we got going on. And this is why we test things, because we make errors by accident. This should be create element and not get element. Okay. Looks to be right now. Okay. Now the only thing we have to do is the CSS to make the appearance look good. So we'll be copying in the CSS in there, of course. We'll be learning about CSS and other courses, but the code will be available for you, and you could also tinker around with it if you choose to. Okay, so here we have it. Simple to-do list. Let's keep in mind there's no persistent storage, and it's just basically something simple to practice working with the DOM. And as you can see, everything was working appropriate. Mock complete. Check, works. On complete, check. And delete, works. Alright. Thank you for taking a look. The video's a little longer than I anticipated, but things happen. Thank you.